I'm Jerry from Jerry's Landscape. We do irrigation, tree removal, landscaping. We pretty much do it all. You know, I can landscape the heck out of a property. That's never really been a problem for me. It's gotta go. I've had a tough time with accounting, with my bookkeeping, but then I came up with this amazing system that has really been a game changer for me. This side of the dash here, this is all the invoices. This side of the dash is gonna be expenses. Then I've got any miscellaneous receipts or anything like that goes in the back seat. Then of course anything tax related, you know, I don't even know what half that stuff is, but anything from ERS, that's gonna go right here on the passenger side floorboard. I've even got a place for customer complaints. right out here. I'm kidding, actually it's not really the best to even open the windows at all. Blow everything around. Is it a perfect system? No, I can't use the defrost in my truck, which sucks. You know, having passengers, that doesn't always work out so well. But it's a small price to pay. We're meticulous. Every transaction matters, period. Okay, I mean, the system, that's what I love about it. It's virtually foolproof. Well,
some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zuttner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
Get ready to enter the Thrivetime show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes. James, we're in the air everywhere. How the heck are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. In the air everywhere. Let's go.
Hey, now, Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, what we're going to talk about on today's show is the difference between Want-Trepreneurs and entrepreneurs. The difference between the Want-Trepreneur and the entrepreneur. You see, one is you say it differently, and one entrepreneur is probably not even a word, but the idea is there's certain people that want to be entrepreneurs and they love big ideas, but they refuse to do math. They're chronically disorganized people. They're big idea people who refuse to do the math. Again, a entrepreneur are disorganized, big idea people who refuse to do the math. And then the entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, successful entrepreneurs are organized people who start with knowing their numbers, and they're very organized. They know their numbers. So let's talk about previous jobs you've had. Sarah, you used to work at Incredible Pizza, right?
Sure did.
You were a manager, am I correct?
Yeah, I was.
And what kind of numbers did you have to know to manage there?
Well, I had to know how many parties we had that day,
Yep.
How many employees we had, how many pizzas to order.
So let's talk about it. So you had to know how many parties you had booked for the day,
Mhm.
and how many employees you had scheduled for the day,
Mhm.
and how many pizzas you needed to make, or what?
Yeah. Ice cream, cookie, cakes, you name it.
And why did you have to know the number of customers coming in for the day, the number of employees coming in, and the amount of food going out?
Well, I didn't want to be short and I didn't want to waste either.
There it is. Now, James, this is an interesting thing. On this Reawaken America tour, okay, we only can accommodate 3,200 people here for the Reawaken America tour for Miami Doral, for Trump Doral. So for anybody out there that wants to come and join us for the Reawaken America Tour in Doral, we can only accommodate 3,200 people. Now that's how many people we can accommodate. That's all we can accommodate. And James, why do we have to know that number as we get closer and closer to selling out? Because we sell out every event. Why do we here at the Reawaken America Tour have to know the number of tickets we're allowed to sell?
Well, we don't want to overbook it
Or
underbook it.
there it is. But there is a great many people that don't want to actually sit down and do the math. They're want-trepreneurs. They don't want to do the math, and they don't want to be organized. Now, why do we have to be organized? Think about this. So we're selling tickets right now for the Reawaken America Tour. Somebody else out there, you are wanting to start your own successful company, or you have a business right now. Let's talk about this. Why does everybody out there have to know their numbers? So what we're going to do right now, and why does everyone have to be organized? I'm going to walk you through just some of the steps you have to have in place if you're going to build a successful company. Okay. So one, you have to create a no-brainer offer. You have to create a no-brainer offer. All right. So right now, one of the businesses I'm involved in is called Tip Top Canine. It's a dog training franchise that's done very well. We've helped the brand to grow from one location now to 20 plus locations, and we are franchising. So people out there who are looking to switch to a new career, the Tip Top Canine franchise model is available. But Sarah, the first time we train someone's dog, it's $1. The first lesson is $1. Why is the first lesson $1?
Well, you can't beat that. Everyone can afford $1.
Okay, and why does it work so well, James? Why does it work so well to offer the first lesson for $1?
It gets you in the door.
Okay, and again, it gets people in the door. So if you were thinking about hiring a dog trainer and it's $1, it's like, why would I not do that?
Right.
Right. So another example would be like for the Reawaken America Tour. I don't financially come out ahead as a result of these. General Flynn and Eric Trump and I were doing these events to help get the information out, to share with people what is actually going on with America right now. But we want everyone to be able to afford to go, so we let people name their price. So for Las Vegas, Nevada, you can pay whatever price you want to pay. And Sarah, why do we make people an offer where we say, hey, you can name your price? Why do we do that?
Well, we don't want anyone to miss out because of funds.
Right.
We want people there.
Right. Now, it's hard to have a relationship if you don't get to know people. It's hard for people to come to an event and discover the truth if they don't know people. It's hard for a dog trainer to train dogs if they don't ever meet the owner of the dogs, right? So you have to create a no-brainer offer that actually works. Now, see, that's an interesting strategy that works. All right. Now, next is you have to create a script. All right. A pre-written script. And Sarah, why do we have to have a pre-written script? Because there's a lot of variables. So when people they call Tip Top Canine to schedule dog training, or they call the Reawaken America Tour to request a ticket, why do we have to have a script of the basic information that we must cover over the phone?
Well, it's mostly quality assurance. You want everyone to get the same information, and you want them to be in the know.
And James, why am I fastidious about making sure that people follow the script?
So that everyone knows what's going on.
There it is. Unbelievable. Okay, let's continue. So you have to create a tracking sheet. Now, this is interesting. Okay, so we have a tracking sheet. And I'm not asking you to disclose the numbers, and I don't want any fighting between you two. But Sarah, you have worked here for quite a while. You're doing a great job. And I think you have the record for the most number of people you've been able to reach during a day to get them a ticket. I believe that's correct.
So far, I am the record holder.
Okay. And it doesn't mean I like you more, although I do have a heavy bias towards liking you more. But the reason why when we track the numbers on a board of how many tickets every person sells per day, or how many dog training lessons someone's books a day, or if you're a dog training, if you do own a Tip Top Canine, if you reach out and you want to buy a Tip Top Canine franchise, we want to make sure that every location is successful. So why do we want to track the conversion rate? If one person's talking to 10 potential clients about training their dog, and they only close 2, they only convert 2 deals from a $1 into a full paying customer, and someone else is converting 80%. So one guy's converting 20%, one guy's converting 80%. Why would you want to know the conversion rate for people, Sarah? What would be the reason for that?
Well, you've got to know where you're at. You got to know how your business is doing, and your employees are a big important part of that.
Okay, so you want to track your key performance indicators. Now, James, you can't improve if you don't know the numbers. You got to measure what you treasure. Now, why is it why do you think, the Reawaken America Tour aside, why do you think that when I work with business owners most business owners don't know their numbers before they start working with our coaching service. Why is that? Why do you think that most people that I talk to, before they hire our coaching service, they don't know their numbers, James?
They could be comfortable or lazy or just not realizing that that's the best practice to do.
Sarah, what do you think?
I mean, I just think that they, they think it's more simple than that. They think it's just going to come around. They don't think that they have to do the work.
I believe that having consulted businesses since 2005 and having started my own, I think that most people put the emotion in the way of the motion they need to take. So it's like, instead of saying, wow, the conversion rate of this person is lower than that person, therefore we need to train with them or help them find another job. People are like, well, I just won't talk about it. Because they don't want to avoid that awkward conversation that, wow, your sales are tremendously worse than that person's sales. Think about this. If you buy a tip-top canine franchise, if anyone's listening today and you go out there today and you buy a tip-top canine franchise, Ryan and Rachel Wimpy, the owners of that company, they're going to sit down and train you on how to train dogs. It's unbelievable how great they are at training you. They're going to get you equipped so that you can go out and open your own successful company. And the way franchising works is they make a small percentage of what you as a local owner make. So they actually come out ahead financially if you do well. Like, they make money if you make money, So they want you to do well. So why is it then that maybe one tip-top canine location would do a much better at sales than another one? Or why is it that one person selling tickets would do a much better job than somebody else? Or why is it that another business I work with, why is it that, one salesperson would do a better job selling pools and pergolas than somebody else?
Well, if they really believe in it, they're really going to sell it from their heart.
Keep going, Sarah. What if you believe it with your heart, but you don't follow the script?
That's true. I think it's all about tracking. Who knows their numbers?
And I'm telling you this, I have met people, and I've met people in the past who are very passionate about dog training, but they can't sell it. And I've met people who are passionate about the Reawaken tour. We had a guy who moved here from Minnesota last year. I think it was before you started.
Yeah, it was right before I started.
And just, God bless his soul, he couldn't sell anything. I mean, it was rough. I mean, every conversation ended in like he somehow painted himself into a corner and then go, oh no, every call. It was unbelievable. So he would go, thank you for calling the Reawaken American tour. How can I help you get a ticket? And there's a script you say, right?
Right.
And he goes, and then he would not follow it. And he would go, how are you? And they'd go, fine, doing great. You're my first person I've talked to today. And then they would go, oh, how are ticket sales? Right. And he would go, well, it's been a hard day for me right now. And they go, well, how much are they? And he's like, well, they start, because we're supposed to let people know, hey, we've got VIP, we have scholarship, you can pay any price, or we also have general admission. What option are you looking? There's a process, and you have to tell people who are the speakers. And he would say, I could work with you. And they go, oh, I'll call you back. Like, every call. It didn't matter how excited people were. He would turn them into a non-buyer.
Uh-oh.
And I've seen the same thing with every industry. But he was passionate about America. That guy could talk to you all about, saving America, why we need to save America, and the Constitution. And he listened to every single show, but he could not sell well. So I want to make sure people understand this. Also, interesting thing, we had a person years ago at our haircut business who was very, very into, if it's called Elephant in the Room, by the way, it's a haircut chain that I own and founded and grow. And we had one of our callers that was the best salesperson ever, best haircut guy ever, best in terms of selling haircuts. But Sarah, he had never, it was interesting because he was very good at selling the haircuts, very good when people would call, he would schedule appointments, the top rep we had. And I talked to him one day, we had our staff meeting, we do our Monday morning trainings, and everyone was gathered around. I said, hey, we're going to bring up this guy today, and we're going to all role play on the script, and then we're going to open up for questions because he's the best we have. And so we're talking, and someone says, well, hey, so how do you sell well? And he's like, I just follow the script. And this blew people's minds. And he says, other thing I do is I never go into the stores. And they're like, you've never been to the stores? He's like, no, I would never go to our businesses. And they're like, why? He's like, well, I used to work in a restaurant back in the day and I loved it. But then after working there, I could never eat there. So I never have been to the stores and I know nothing about any of the people who work here. So I feel that's how I do it.
It's amazing.
That's his strategy.
It's impressive.
Another example, we had a guy in my company I started back in the day. I don't own this company anymore, called Epic Photos. One of our top, it was one of the most successful wedding photography businesses around. I don't own it anymore. I used to own it, started the company. And this company was very interesting to me because our top sales guy in our call center, top guy, let me pull it up here. He didn't know anything about wedding photography. And he didn't care about it either. So the question is, how is it possible? Let me pull this up here. This was the call. This is my last day at work here. So I filmed this. Was my last day at work. And I had to get this to just kind of as a way to save this magic moment. This was the kind of stuff I looked forward to. I love call centers. I love call centers. I love sales. I love marketing. I love businesses. Here's the call center. Oh, just it's a magic moment here. Everybody is reading the same. What, Sarah?
Script.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Here.
And everybody's on the phone.
That second or that third second.
They're all just reading. That's good.
Go back to $800 and $900. However, price has
We book a wedding about every hour. It's so beautiful. This guy went on to be successful in real estate.
nice little buzz. Crazy. I black out from like 3 to 9, and then at 9 o'clock I wake up.
And these guys would sell stuff. Anyway, our top sales guy admitted that he knew nothing about photography and had no interest in it.
That's great.
So it is now. What if you're passionate about the product and you follow the scripts? Well, that's a laser shot. That's great. So you guys both happen to be passionate about saving America and you follow the systems, which is great. But I just want people to understand that you can have passionate people that do not follow scripts and they will not be successful. It would be like a football player who's passionate about football. He loves the game, not in shape, doesn't work out, loves the game though, loves the game, doesn't work out, not in shape, doesn't know the playbook, but loves the game. It's possible. So you have to combine both, right? So again, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be organized. Yes. And you have to do the math. Yes. And that's what happens. And a lot of people, they just don't want to do the math because it's mental laziness. It's a form of laziness called mental laziness. And people would rather not look at the numbers. So Juan, you got to create a no-brainer that actually works. So again, I would encourage you to go to tiptopcanine.com. The $1 for the first lesson is a powerful move. If you go to eitrlounge.com, that's elephant in the room. The first haircut's $1. That's a great move. Now, for PMH OKC, you can't have $1 for your first pool installation. Sarah, why can't you have $1 for the first? Someone's going, that's awesome. I'll do $1 for pool installations. I'll kill the game. Why can't you do $1 for the first pool installation?
Well, not everyone wants a second pool. I mean, you're going to lose so much money.
Right. So what we do with his business, Randy Antrican's business, who, by the way, when I first started working with Randy, he went from doing about $50,000 a month to like $1.6 million a month.
It's amazing.
So what we found out with Randy, the big no-brainer is we had to become the highest rated and most reviewed pool installation company in America. Now, he'd already installed a lot of pools, a lot of projects. And in order to get that, we had to call every single former customer and get an objective review from them. We had to ask them, would you take the time needed to leave us an objective Google review? And we had to call them all. And Sarah, why do we have to call former customers and ask them to actually leave an actual review about the actual projects that we had done for them? Why couldn't we just want it to happen? Why did we actually have to pick up the phone, call former customers, and gather reviews from them?
Well, they won't leave a review unless you ask.
There it is. But there's people I know that's their approach to marriage. Well, we'll just see if it happens. It will not happen if you don't ask someone on a date. So it has that approach to getting I'm serious. This is the thing. I was in a restaurant the other day, right? And the waiter comes by, bro, how's everything tasted, bro? Some of those restaurants where everyone's like, bro, how's everything tasting, bro? And I had to go to church because I had took my kids out to breakfast and we went to church. Breakfast and church. Now, church starts at a certain time. And this guy's like, hey, bro, is everything tasting great? Yeah. And I'm going, this guy's going to make this an hour and a half breakfast. I know what he's doing here. Bro, how are you, bro? And I'm going, hey, I need you to get me a check. I need you to get me a check. Okay, bro. Yeah, right. 2 minutes later, he's not anywhere. He's just hanging out, talking to people. Bro, how are you, bro? You guys doing good, bro? Oh, bro. I'm going, hey, I need you to get me a check. And I need you to. I love you. I need to, and I'll tip you well, but I need that check. And then he's like, okay. He gets in another chatty conversation with someone else. So then at that point, I had to follow up a third time, which leads me to my next point. All successful entrepreneurs follow up. They have focus. They focus. What does focus mean? Focus. Here we go, folks. Focus on core Tasks until success. So why do I have to follow up, Sarah? Why did I have to follow up over and over and over with the waiter to get a check? And why did my client, Randy Antrigan, have to follow up with his former buyers, his former customers to get them to leave a review? Why can't you just ask someone to do it and then just laissez-faire, let it happen? Let's see what happens through entropy. We'll just sort of drift our way to success. Why?
Well, I mean, people don't remember things. So if you don't follow up, it won't happen.
Interesting. James, why do you think we can't just, announce the date? Reawaken America tour coming to Doral. Woo! To quote Ric Flair. Woo! To quote Ric Flair. To quote Ric Flair, moving by quickly. Woo! What? Why? Why do you, Ric Flair moving up and down? Why can't you just announce tickets, put a flyer out, and just go, all right, baby?
Well, because in 10 seconds from now, my attention's going to be somewhere else.
There
Next
it is.
meme is going to be released.
There it is. That's what it is, right? So you got to focus on core tasks until success. Next pro tip to move from being a want-trepreneur to being an entrepreneur. Okay, this is big. This is big stuff. Someone needs to write this down. Somebody needs to follow. Okay, great people or successful people bored down. Bored down. While mediocre. People suffer. I'm typing it up here, folks. People suffer from boredom. Interesting how that works. So have you noticed that, like, most people always want a new idea? I'm sure you've never seen this before, but I meet a lot of people. I'm 42. A lot of guys I meet, they get married. A lot of guys I've met, they get married. They're so fired up. Woohoo! We're getting married. Met her at the gym. We're getting married because I met her at the gym. And then I've talked to him 5 years later. How are you? How is she? And I'm proud of myself that I remember the name. Jeff. How is Michelle? I see him at like Office Depot or something. Or I see him at a restaurant. How's Michelle? Like, oh, we're not together anymore. What happened? Because they move on to a new thing. I know people that do this with home buying. They buy a house. They love the idea of flipping a house, buy a house low, sell it high. And then you go, how's the home flipping business go? It didn't work out. Because they move on to new ideas. I think most people love to move on to new ideas. I would love to get your thoughts, James. Why do most people want to move on to new ideas as opposed to boring down and doing what works?
Well, I think people get bored, and it's always easier to say, hey, grass is greener on the other side.
It is. And why is that, though?
Mental laziness.
What do you think, Sarah?
I mean, I think people just don't want to put in the work. They get lazy and they get bored, and starting things is easier than finishing.
There it is. Okay. Now, Gino Wickman, who's a friend of our program, we've had him on the show multiple times. He started a program called Traction. It's a program called Traction. And he has this notable quote where he says this, and I'm going to read it to you guys from his book, Traction. I love the book. It says, people are sitting on their own diamond mines, and the surest way to lose your own diamond mine is to get bored, to become overambitious, to start thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Find your focus and stick to it, and devote your time and resources to excelling at it. Now, this is something on our podcast here today. It's February the 23rd. I'm sure most people hear these shows whenever they hear them. Like, someone, if you're listening right now, you're hearing it now. Wow. You're not hearing it like now that I'm recording it. You're hearing it after now, but for you, after now is now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Wow. Whoa. Write that down, somebody. Whoa, man. That's awesome.
Call the waiter.
I listened to the Thrivetime show, man. I'm studying black holes, man. Unbelievable, man. Wow. Okay. So I've done 2,157 shows over a span of like a decade. You know? How many days are in a year? 365. Right. So if I did a show every day, it would be like 7 years of shows. You know, I just keep doing them. Now, and these are shows that are the non-political shows. The political shows, I'm probably up to like 5,000 between all the shows. But the thing is that I have hunkered down on a few key things and I stay focused on them. So let's go back to this here. You have to know your numbers. Okay. So 1, you have to create a no-brainer that offer that actually works. 2, you have to create a pre-written script. 3, you got to create a tracking sheet 3, to track the key performance indicators. 4, you have to focus on your core tasks until
Success.
Yes. 5, great people bored down while mediocre people suffer from boredom. Now, if you will go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and this is a thing that only successful people do this. So most people, not you, the listener right now, if you're listening right now, you're going to do this, but most people just, it's like, well, I don't know if I have carpal tunnel. I don't know if I can navigate all the way to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire and go on Instagram and TikTok and watch random ass videos about things that I can't control, because I'm watching a lot of videos right now about things I can't control. All right. Don't have time to do it. But if you go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, you can download all of my books I've ever written for free. And someone says, why would you give them away for free? Well, because I grew up poor and I know what it's like to not really have resources. And so, but I'm going to focus in on a specific part of this book. All right. The specific part of this book. And this is the PDF copy. And I downloaded it myself, but I didn't download it now. I downloaded it before now. If you're listening now, because now when you're listening now is after now when we recorded.
Amazing.
Whoa.
Time travel.
Say la, man. Okay. Awesome. So we're going here. This is page 5. And you have to establish your revenue goals. If you're going to be successful, you have to know your revenue goals and your total weekly gross revenue goals. You have to know that. 2, you got to know your break-even numbers. You have to know how much stuff you have to sell to break even. You have to, I call that the crap. You have to know the crap. Someone says the crap. What, crap? Don't call it crap. I'll call it crap. Okay. You have to know your crap. What does that mean? Know your crap. Know your crap. I don't know. What is this? Okay, you core. Okay, core, repeatable, actionable processes. All right. So you know your core, repeatable, actionable processes. So for the Reawaken Tour, I have to do about 40 interviews a week to tell people about the Reawaken America Tour events. And then the phones ring, right? Because I tell people about the event. The phones ring, people fill out the forms, and you guys have to call them following the script and the systems. And there's a pre-written text. You have to have those in place. And then you book tickets. And then that's all like the marketing of the event. But then when it gets to the event, I have to have a schedule of
speakers.
Yes. So when Devin Nunes, who is the CEO of Truth Social, reaches out and says, I would like to speak at your event, that means I have to schedule
Schedule a date?
Yes. I can't just say, yeah, man, speak whenever, bro. Bro. No, I'm serious, though. That's the difference between a want-trepreneur and entrepreneur. Someone says, I want to speak at your event. I'm thinking, okay, when are you going to speak? Because if you're going to speak, I probably should schedule time for it. And that means that somebody else can't speak. Interesting. Right? So, but I have to know my crap, my core, repeatable, actionable processes. Then at the event, every speaker has to have a specific time slot. And we're going to film the events. We're going to stream the events. We have praise and worship music that comes in. And we have 100-something streaming partners. And Sarah, I have to call all of them to make sure they have their RTMP feed. And someone says, what does that mean? In a lot of our culture, what we do is we listen to abbreviations and we just go with it because it's exciting. I go, yeah, oh yeah, awesome, yeah. We don't know what it is, but it stands for real-time messaging protocol. So real-time messaging protocol, I have to send all the streaming partners a real-time messaging protocol because this show's being recorded now, but you're listening after
now.
Right. But in that case, it's a real-time messaging protocol. So I've got to make sure they have it. So I have to call them and I have to say, hey, did you get it? And they go, yeah, I got it. You got it? They go, yeah, I got it. Is it working? And they go, no, it's not working. So that's what you have to do is to follow up, right? Okay, moving on to the third box. So hopefully we're learning something today. The third box. And by the way, there's motivational speakers that have made up phrases to make the itching ears of the lazy slackers, the Want-Trepreneurs cheer. They'll say things like, if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, you're insane. Really? Well, if I run Starbucks, I think it's the same every day.
It's true.
I mean, isn't it the same? They have a recipe, a menu, pricing, they do it. If you're a quick trip gas station, do they not sell gas every day?
They do.
And then the result they expect to be different is they're making more money over time by doing the right things over and over and over. But people that are insane want a new thing every day. So they came up with the little phrase they say all the time, like, well, if your insanity's doing the same thing over and over, because I don't want to do the same thing over and over because I'm lazy. I mean, because it's insanity. But if you do the same thing over and over, that's how you have success. I mean, if I drove a different vehicle and a different route home every day, that'd be crazy. But that, for a lot of people, seems exciting. Woo-hoo, we'll see if I have a car. We'll see if I can afford it. It's interesting. Okay, so third, you have to determine the number of hours you're willing to work. I personally like to get up, wake up at 3, and I like to work until 6. That's what I like to do. I'm not saying everyone out there has to do it. That's what I like to do, 3 to 6. I like to go, if I can, 6 days a week. Now, this morning, I think my kids were trying to kill me. I woke up, and they had a laptop on the floor. And I walked, and I stepped on that thing on that wood floor, and ankle, boom, fall down. Oh, Billy. And so I'm suffering through physical pain. And I probably should get it looked at, but I'm not going to because I don't go to the doctors. Eventually, they'll just take my dead body to the doctor. That's the first time I go. So the number of hours willing to work and injuries don't stop me. If I have a head cold, I take Dayquil. Sarah, you see it.
Yeah.
I haven't had a day off from work in at least 23 years. You know why? Because I'm self-employed. I'll also be self-unemployed. Interesting. Someone should write that down. You want to be self-employed. Sarah, if you're self-employed and you take a day off, what happens?
Well, then you don't make money that day.
Have you seen people come to this office and have tried to play the what day can I work game? Have you seen this?
Every day, actually.
Remember the one lady with great branding who was really excited to work here, who then lasted a day? You remember that lady, or maybe 2 days?
Yeah.
It happens all the time. And so you got other numbers, know the hours you're willing to work. Box number 4, you have to know your 3-legged marketing stool. What are the 3 ways that you are going to market to your ideal and likely buyers? Sarah, why can't you have 47 ways that you're going to market to your ideal and likely buyers? Why do you want to hone in on your top 3?
Well, you want to work on what is successful. And if you have too many, you're going to overload and none of them's going to be great.
Have I mentioned Tip Top Canine, the franchise, yet?
You sure have, but
Interesting.
let's hear it.
Okay, so Tip Top Canine, if you buy a franchise from Tip Top Canine, they take care of all the marketing systems for you. And they're not running around every day coming up with a new idea. There are 3 moves that work, and they guide you through how to do it. So they're going to help you be top in Google in the search results. They're going to help you with your online social media ads that work. And they're going to teach you a marketing strategy called the Dream 100, where you market to veterinarians, and you market to the veterinarians, and you market to the dog groomers, and that's what you do. DMHOKC, there's a marketing strategy. So that's why I do. Sarah, why do I do free 13-point assessments? If somebody goes to thrivetimeshow.com and they go here now, but they're listening, we're recording it now, but this will be after now. So they go there, and they schedule a consultation. So they look here and they go, okay, wait a minute, I'm going to schedule a free consultation with this guy. If they schedule a consultation, why do I do a free consultation?
Well, I mean, they want to know what they're getting into, and it's more of a informative thing. You want to know if they're a good fit or if, you're a good fit for them. And why do I tell people openly, hey, it's $1,700 a month. If you want to work with us, it's month to month. We include photography, videography, web development, search engine. I tell them everything that's included. We help you with your accounting, with your workflow, with your branding, with your systems, with your leadership, with your training, with your org chart. And why do we tell people 3 Awaken America Tour? We've got 70 plus speakers over 2 days. Why do we tell people all of the things that are included? Why would we do that? So they can know their numbers.
Yes. And so that people can, why else, James, if you were listening to this show after now, because right now you couldn't listen because you're here. But after now, if you were listening, why would, if you were thinking about hiring a business consultant, why would you want to know what's included or list a little bit before you filled out the form?
Well, I want to know what I'm getting with my money, and I would want to know that they have integrity and are transparent.
Interesting. Okay, let's continue. Improve the branding. That's the next box, the branding. Branding is big. Branding is, what do people think of when they see the business? How do they perceive the business? It's like gift wrapping for gifts. If you ever give someone a Christmas gift, this is one way to make your Christmas weird this year. I want you to go get your wife a ring from Tiffany. Wait, no, wait.
Hold on.
You get that Tiffany ring, okay? Then you get the ring, you come home, and you try to find a Kmart or a Dollar General. Find one of those stores.
Like a ring pop?
And you go, no, but listen, you bought the actual Tiffany pop. You bought the Tiffany ring. Okay, this is step 1. If you want to make your Christmas weird this year, I'm telling you how to do it. You go to Tiffany, you buy the actual ring. You have it. You take that ring, and you take the box, and you throw that box in the river, but you keep the ring. You throw the box. So now you've got just the ring, okay? Now you go to Dollar General, and you get yourself a bag. You say, can I buy a bag, please? They go, from here? And so you can just have one. No, I want to buy one. So you get a bag, and then you wrap the ring in the Dollar General bag. And then when Christmas comes, there's the tree, and people are gathered around, and they're rocking around the Christmas tree. All the music's playing, And then we're doing a countdown to open the gifts. And everyone's like, who the crap put a Dollar General bag under the tree? And that was me. Oh, yeah. And then you get down and you tell your bride, you tell your wife, your girlfriend, whatever it is. You say, I love you so much. I want everyone to stop. Everyone stop. I want your attention, family. I love my lady friend so much. I gave this to her. And everyone's going to go, boo, because the fact that it's wrapped in a Dollar General bag or box, it's going to devalue it. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So branding is so important. Why am I building a tiki hut right next to your desk?
Well, I mean, it catches eyes. People want to sit there.
It's going to be great. Why is there a waterfall out front of our business?
We love waterfalls.
Sarah, why is there a waterfall out front?
It looks nice and it brings people in. They love
people come to a conference. It's great branding. It improves the perceived value of an experience at a conference. And so somebody out there, you have a great product, but your branding sucks and you're not selling vacuums. Now, if you were selling vacuums, we would go, great job. Your branding sucks. Good job. It sucks because you're selling vacuums. Way to go. If you're a Kirby dealer, good job. Probably shouldn't vacuum that, but we'll go for it. Right?
My Kirby can handle everything.
You have a Kirby?
I do have a Kirby.
That's great. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do, though, is we're going to go to testimonials on thrivetimeshow.com. And why do I have 2,000 plus client testimonials that I've gathered since 2005 on video? Why would I take the time after I help a client achieve massive success? Why would I, on video, gather those testimonials? Why would I do that?
Well, I mean, it puts value on it. I mean, it's real people giving
Keep
real
going.
reviews.
Real people, real reviews. James, come on. James, come on, baby.
Everyone loves to hear the testimony of other people.
Okay, let's do this. If you go to rumble.com and you look up the Reawaken America Tour, let's do it, okay? So I'm going to type in Reawaken America Tour. I click on it. Why do I have all these videos that come up top? When you type in Reawaken America Tour, why have I intentionally made sure that the search results are filled up with wonderful people who've actually spoken at our events, talking about the events, or people who have actually left reviews? Why would I take the time to gather reviews from all the attendees at the events? Why would I have thousands, not a thousand, but thousands? Why would I take the time to gather video reviews from people that have actually attended the event? James?
People just want to see what other people think about it.
That's it, man. So if you're listening out there today and you're going, man, I want to grow my business, do you do this or that? Listen, folks, we do this, that, and this, and we do this. Okay. But we help you with your unique value proposition. If you're stuck and you're like, man, I can't figure out how to sell well, we'll help you. Okay. If you can't figure out sales, you're like, I don't know how to do sales scripts and recorded calls and Juan sheets and pre-written emails and lead trackers. And I don't know how to get customers. And I haven't done repeatable systems and I can't find good people. I have never struggled in my life. This just did to find good people ever. People say, you know, kids today, I tell you what, they just don't want to come to work now because, you know, my cousin now, he's living with his third wife. He's 18 years old and he ain't going to get a job. Well, that's a little interesting of an intimate story there. And in addition to that, there are good people out there. There are knuckleheads. Hello, knuckleheads. I mean, the Wild West back in the day, you know, back in the day, I don't know if people know this, but back in the times of the Wild West, you had a statistically higher probability of getting shot because duels were a thing.
That's true.
Could you imagine how that would take down the office morale? Like, Carl, I disagree with you. You were supposed to pay for lunch. No, you were supposed to pay for lunch. No.
I challenge you to a duel.
Let's duel. Like, you guys want to duel over an avocado? Sell this shit up, Carl.
Unless you're around me and Carter, then it happens.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Yeah. There was actual duels. And they're going, okay, here's how it's going to work. You're going to take 10 steps. I'm going to take 10. And you're going to turn around and fire. And the other guy's going, they don't take 7 steps. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Oh, guess who won? And then someone says, I object. You cheated. Oh, you're gone too. That kind of stuff happened back in the day. Now we have less of that, but I'm sure it had to be really hard to find people to work back in the Wild West. You know what I mean? Could someone clean up the dead body there in front of the saloon? We were trying to find some employees. It really kills the vibe.
Good job.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wow, that's funny.
I mean, you got to think about the perspective of it, and then creating a repetitive schedule, managing people, how to do your accounting, all of that. That's what we teach at our workshops. If you're listening today and you want to come to an in-person workshop, you can go to thrivetimeshow.com and you can request a ticket to attend our in-person workshops. If you want to learn more about a Tip Top Canine franchise, you can do that at tiptopcanine.com. If you want to listen to our podcast, you can do that. If you want to schedule a free 13-point assessment with me, you can do all that. If you want to join us on the Reawaken America tour, you can go to time2freeamerica.com. But the final little teaching moment I'll leave you with is Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich. He once said that the time will never be just right. You must act now. And I could not agree with anything more. In fact, I named my son after the author. My son's name is Aubrey Napoleon Hill Clark, because this idea of that, someday it'll be a good day to get started. You know, I don't believe that. Someday in the future, I'm going to try to save America or get a car or shave my face. No, you guys got to do it now. You have to take the time will never be just right. You must act now. So regardless of what action step you're going to take today, I encourage you to take action now, but that would actually be after now because we didn't record it live. But if we did want to record it live, we'd have to use RTMP feeds. Okay, so we're going to end the show with a boom. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for 3 months, and you have $350,000 of bills you've got to pay, and we have no accounts receivable. He helped us navigate that, and of course we were conservative enough that we could afford to take that on for a period of time. But it was anyways, great man. I'm very impressed with him. So Clay, thank you for everything you're doing, and I encourage you, if you haven't ever worked with Clay, work with Clay. He's going to help magnify you, and there's nobody I have ever met that has the ability to work as hard as he does. He probably sleeps 4, maybe 6 hours a day, and literally the rest of the time he's working, and he can outwork everybody in the room every single day, and he loves it. So anyways, this is Charles Kola with Kola Fitness. Thank you, Clay, and anybody out there that's wanting to work with Clay, it's a great opportunity to ever work with him. So you guys have a blessed one. This is Charles Kola. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I've found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love the building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due, and Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
The Thrivetime Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.